meeting and producing the album? And a second question is, which song did you find most difficult to sing?
Okay. It didn't take very long. No, the recording process was 4 days, but the meetings took place months earlier. I can't remember.
This year.
No. We actually recorded this in January of last year.
No, it was released January last year. 2016 was when we did the recording.
We did the record, and pa-Christmas na eh. That's why we had all of this pate in front of us. Thank you, Sheila Francisco. So we've been sitting on this, and we've been very proud of this for the last couple of years. So from its proposal to today, a couple of years. Yeah, but it was released in the US first last year, I think. Early last year.
And which song did you find
Most difficult? Actually, Sarumbanggi was okay. Pamulinawen was hard because I don't speak Ilocano at all. I am not familiar with the language in any way. That was literally foreign language, Ilocano 101. That was that. So it was, ang hirap kaya. And it's hard, like, what does this mean? So I don't know how many versions of it I had to listen to, and it still made no sense to me because it's foreign. It's a foreign language. Well, Sarumbanggi I kind of could figure it out a little bit, kinda. But even then, we needed to phone a friend in the studio while we were in there. We called so many people over the course of those 4 days. But oh, how much fun!
Talking about language, some of our traditional songs have a little more archaic in terms of the way, for example, when I was talking to Eloisa, she was saying, "Can you spell that? Can you spell?" She was saying, "This is how we heard it, and this is the lyric. These are the lyrics." And then she would say, "Mali yan. Actually, ganito yung word. Ganito, ganyan. I see. It's like meron ng contraction, meron ng napaiksi na. So that's why it was very important for us to really ask the language speakers, the native speakers.
Yeah, it was really, their participation in recording the album was so integral. It was so important. There was no way we could like, ay, bahala na si Batman dito. No, we couldn't do that. It would be so disrespectful. We tapped native speakers of each dialect. I mean, it's easy for Ili because I've sung it a lot and I've heard my mom sing it. But for ating Kupong Sing Sing, I went to, sino pang kinapitan ko? One of the music researchers of ABS-CBN. Si Evie Zapanta, and Cesar Aguas, who's Kapampangan, and your wife also. So we had so many resource people, and for that one song, we called 3 people for one song. I mean, I went to my brother because he kind of can speak Kapampangan, and until he said, "This is out of my league, you gotta call somebody else." But yeah, we really made the effort to tap a native speaker to help us out of respect for the language and out of respect for the music.
How can this album reach out to the young students of today?
Besides that it's downloadable,
The public school system, for example.
yeah, maybe this is something that we could get some help from the Department of Education with NCCA, National Artist, NCCA. No, but they may know who we can talk to get this into the education system.
I think we should talk to the Department of
Okay,
Education.
CISO said they're talking about the
But what is the main target of this album?
Children.
The Philippine market or the world audience?
The primary audience was the market outside,
Yes.
so that it could foster understanding and learning about other cultures. So coming from talagang a foreigner's point of view, listening to what is different foreign languages.
What did
But for here, it's released here, it'll be different eh. But obviously, yung magiging intention niya, because the language is not always foreign. If you speak that dialect, you'll understand it. But I think it's more preservation na of our heritage and culture. And music that's disappearing via oral tradition. Kasi naabutan ko pa yung tinuturuan pa ako ng mga kanta ko sa eskwela or pag nag-show. And I would learn this stuff kasi, I have to sing it in some concert. And then, so, hearing that it's no longer being passed on, nakakadismaya, nakakatakot na baka mawala tuluyan itong mga to.
The need to remind or to introduce these songs to our
young people.
Yes.
And it's being introduced in a way that doesn't feel archaic or old. Because the arrangements are coming from younger people. I mean, there's one in particular that I love. I mean, I love all of them. But this one was one of my guys on The Voice is my Cayabyab. He was one of eventually after knockouts or sing-offs or whatever round it was, natanggal na siya. But it was his guitar playing that I noticed. It was exceptional. I mean, he sings pretty well. Pero yung pagiging instrumentalist niya, and he would say that I arranged this version of, so hindi ko na nakalimutan yun. So it's like, thank you, The Voice of the Philippines, for introducing me to this young man. And so we're like, we have to get Mike. And it turns out he was one of your Elements guys who went to the camp. And, so this guy is exceptionally talented. So like, we got to get this guy to create something for this.
One last point. Why isn't there a Merry Christmas song in the collection? Is it traditional folk?
No. Not for this. That's a whole separate. Given that our Christmas season is its own phenomenon, we may have to create another Christmas album. Now it's all Filipino.
How did Global react to the song?
They loved everything.
They
They
were
were there
there.
at every session.
They were there in all the sessions.
Yeah, as in they really.
Yes.
We scheduled everything to make sure that they could come
Yeah.
and
And
be
baby,
there.
they brought all the stems, meaning the tracks. It was mixed and mastered in the US. And the one who mixed it was the guy who won Grammy for the other collection. Colonial, yeah. He was the one who mixed it.
Introduced to us by the American.
Just sent them all the raw files.
Right.
Mr. C, the way I look at it, the album is quite precious to me as far as I am concerned because it's Lea Salonga and you as a national artist producing and arranging the whole album. My question is, did you have to pay for the rights of any of the songs?
Yes, they had to look for. They went to PhilSCAP to research on if there were particular songs that are not folk songs, not public domain, like Matudila. It's not a folk song; it is a composed song. Yeah. I don't know which lyrics we use kasi
Bahay Kubo is not a folk.
right now
There is an English version for that was taught to us in school.
My nipa hat is very small.
And what I think is a movie theme song.
It's a composed song, so they had to get licenses.
Oh, okay. So how many songs did you get permission?
Actually, siyempre hindi ko na maalala. Sa tagal.
2 years. Bali 2 years na.
Yeah. They got the license to get the songs. But the traditional ones, the public domain ones, like I think Kuko Sing Sing, I'm not sure.
Composed song din.
I think so, but most of the composed songs eventually became.
Oral history.
So you get them for free, yung mga traditional songs that were not composed?
Well, public domain, you don't need licenses on that.
Thank you.
Be afraid. Well, the first half of 2019, I'm touring. I'm in Hong Kong, I'm in Singapore, and then for the second half, it's stuff that I cannot announce yet. But suffice to say, with the exception of a couple of months, my calendar is full. But there's nothing to announce yet. But I can announce the first half, which means I'll be in Hong Kong and Singapore and the UK, and then the US for April and May. My daughter's on summer vacation, so that's when I'm able to tour in the US, and we get to see family, we get to see Broadway shows, and she gets to ride her skateboard in New York City, and that's fun. So yun siya eh. that's her. And then eat our way going coast to coast, and so that will be a fun trip. Parang extended vacation that happens to have work, and we get to see a lot of cities as well. And then after that, I come home, she starts school, and then as we find out, as I am told, okay, you can announce this, then I can start announcing. Pero ngayon wala pa. I can't say.
And the second half will be spent abroad or in the Philippines?
I'm not saying.
And with that, we can formally end our activities. But before we do that, we'd like to invite the General Manager